Hello everyone, and welcome. This is the first episode of what we are calling Controlled Chaos. It's an extension of our Chaos Chamber channel. Say that 5 times fast. Where we're going to get together and talk about everything D&D related. To start off, we thought it'd be kind of fun to get together and start talking about some new content. As many of you probably know, I started running as the DM a new campaign called Crown of the Oathbreaker. There's a lot of fun and twisted things in here. The campaign leads us through some fun times and some very dark times. So that should be fun. But we felt it'd be kind of cool to actually dig into some of the spells, feats, subclasses, magic items, and things like that, and give everyone a taste of what they're potentially missing. So it's kind of the thought here. We'll be running this every week, probably Mondays around 9 o'clock. So hopefully everyone stays tuned and can learn about some fun new stuff that's being published. So I guess without further ado, I guess we could take a sec to introduce ourselves. So I'm Evan. I don't know. I've been playing D&D for about 4 years now, rolling through same campaign for yeah, for 4 years, switching off for a few things, but definitely a lot of fun here. These two wicked gentlemen with me, if you wouldn't mind taking a moment. Carl?
Oh,
Hey.
okay. Carl, and this is my first time ever being time I met you guys today.
And I'm Keegan. I'm very similar to Carl. I've never met either of these guys. No, we're all brothers. We have a good time. We've been playing D&D together for 4, 5 years. I don't know, long time. And we figured we start talking about it. So good stuff.
You guys are all crazy. Alrighty, hey, well let's figured we jump into spells. Starting out as a DM, I like to find different ways to mess with the players and whatnot. So we'll jump into spells real quick. And the first one that was actually on the list is a whopping fourth level, called Disable Construct. So this one's gonna take a casting time of 1 action, range of 60 feet, verbal semantic material components, a gear made of metal. Concentration spell for up to a minute, so great to use in combat. Bard, Sorcerer, and Wizard. So we're adding to that arsenal. And basically, you're going to choose a construct that you see within range. They're going to make a wisdom save, or they are going to be freaking paralyzed for that duration. So that's actually pretty wicked. The constructs do get, on the end of their turns, they do get to make a wisdom save. Hopefully, they don't save, but we'll see how that happens. And you can upcast this and start to target more and more constructs if you run across them. So this is actually pretty interesting. A little bit of fun art here. Some change, some magical change, ripping through a construct and holding it down. So that's always fun to kind of look at some visuals here. But yeah, this one's kind of interesting. When I first looked at this, I wasn't. I felt a little bit lackluster, but as I was reading into this, this seems pretty interesting. So I guess first thing to look at is defining what a construct is, and really that's some type of artificial human beings, like a metal, like a suit of armor brought to life, or golems. Some of the most common ones that we're looking at, but those are also some of the most deadly things to run across here. So this seems actually pretty interesting. Carl, from our campaign, we don't run into too many constructs, I think, but maybe in Crown of the Oathbreaker that might change here. But what are your thoughts on Disable Construct? What are you thinking right off the bat?
I have a feeling that's going to change. That's one of Imrith's main things. She makes those stone constructs, right? And
Hmm.
so for me, the spell was a little lackluster because spell magic, or even potentially 6 seconds. Does the spell magic do it better for you, even if that does cost enough?
That's a very good thought. Very good thought. I kind of like that one. Eric, we have another joiner here. Eric, what's up, buddy? I don't know if he's going to be able to hear us, but we'll go ahead and keep going here. That's
What?
actually
Hey, yo, okay, okay, now I can hear you.
Hey,
I can hear you.
Eric,
I,
what's up, man? We
no, I'm on my phone here, and I saw you guys are doing stuff. What's happening?
Yeah, we are we're testing out a new thing here. We're doing what we called controlled chaos. So we're actually looking over a couple of different spells, or starting out with some spells from Crown of the Oathbreaker, and live streaming it and whatnot, and seeing what we get here. And the first one we came up against was a new spell for bards, sorcerers, and wizards from Crown of the Oathbreaker called Disabled Construct. So we're just kind of
Okay.
rummaging through that here and seeing what everyone thinks. I initially thought lackluster. Carl's brought some pretty good points of, I mean, if we could just use dispel magic and snap off a few and totally nullify a construct, that actually seems a little bit better usage of a fourth level spell slot. So yeah, we're just digging in and seeing what we think.
Cool. Cool.
Keegan, what's your thoughts on this one?
You know, I always like the first thing we think about with new spells, right, is how we're going to use them against the enemies. And when I thought of this one, I was like, you know what? How could this be used against us? Yeah, because as a bard, one of the spells that I've constantly thought about taking is animate objects, right? I
Yeah.
think it's fun, it's fascinating, it's pretty cool, and I was thinking, how could this be used against me? And then it got me thinking even further, like, well, what if you're an automaton, right? Or
Mm,
I can't remember if a warforged is considered a humanoid, but I'm
yeah.
thinking about what if one of our characters is considered a construct, right? This spell against us would be absolutely fascinating. Then I also got to thinking too, do constructs generally have high wisdom? Because if they don't, they're likely not going to succeed on that saving throw,
Yeah.
and they're going to sit there and be paralyzed and take crit hits constantly, right? I don't know. Is a fourth level? I don't think it should be a fourth level. Maybe a third level. I think fourth's a little high because you don't run into constructs too often. But I like the spell. I think it's cool. It reminds me of whole person and other stuff. And in clutch times, spells like this can be pretty crucial to turning a fight.
It
Yeah,
seems situational.
Yeah, yeah,
I
Yeah.
100%.
agree.
Yep.
it is so is fourth level appropriate across classes? So level might be high for a bard, but for sorcerer, wizard specifically, the average.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I guess the reason I question the level of it is because it is very situational, right? I mean, so for
Yeah.
a fourth to take disable construct as a fourth level spell, and I can't remember how many like as a higher level wizard how many fourth level spells you get, but you're not gonna get a ton of fourth level spells, so you have to be pretty. If you're gonna take this spell, you're gonna need a reason to use it, right? So I think maybe a third level might be a little better. I don't know.
Well,
Should
if we look at this here as well, I mean, constructs. If you look at golems, I was just looking up a stone golem, for instance. That's a level 10 challenge rating. So being able to permanently smack a level 10 challenge rating with a fourth level spell and paralyze it, and then you automatically crit with every hit,
Mhm.
that's that's not too shabby. If we take it in that context, if I think if we play it to where, like, Carl, you were mentioning the, like gargoyles, for instance, we've been able to utilize dispel magic in that scenario. So I think in comparison, disable construct it's a little bit lackluster. But as I start thinking about golems and some of these other larger constructs, using a fourth level to paralyze actually seems pretty decent. I don't think it's OP. It's if we put it in that context, not lackluster. So, Carl, I'm thinking that maybe I agree with you on that. That maybe the if we take into the wizard context, it seems fairly average.
Yeah.
I mean,
What about
even banishment is a fourth level. Wait, no, banishment is. Yeah, banishment is a fourth
Management.
level. So
Yeah, it is.
yeah.
like hypnotic patterns? That again, it kind of depends on what you're trying to accomplish. But if I'm trying to accomplish to disable a hypnotic pattern, will disable multiple
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
I
yeah.
hypnotic pattern is so. So underutilized.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely love that spell. We won't get into it because we're talking about disabled construct, but that's a topic for another time. Like top five underutilized spells or something. Hypnotic pattern definitely up there, hundred
Uh,
percent.
I plan on utilizing that in Oath. Yeah, the Oathbreaker campaign.
This could be fun. Hypnotic pattern's fantastic, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Disable construct. Yeah, situational. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I think the wisdom saving throw, at the end of each turn makes it interesting, just because I don't see constructs as having high wisdom, so
Yeah.
the chances of them succeeding probably not going to happen. But
Well,
yeah,
let's just see this here.
situational.
I'm gonna pull up a stone golem real quick because I'm just curious what their I mean the wisdom is 11, so it's a it's a null modifier, so nothing crazy. That was actually a little bit more a little bit higher than I anticipated, but not having a not having any kind of modifier is actually kind of decent. So yeah, we might be able to keep that construct down for a little while. So that's not too shabby. But yeah, I think it comes back to being situational. If we're just trying to get past something, um, hypnotic pattern. I added that to the list, Keegan. I added that. Next time maybe we'll do a ringer here and add hypnotic pattern in there. But
One thing I will give props to, don't necessarily, the construct doesn't bring fun damage
yeah,
compared to some
Hmm.
you're able to multiple rounds to up on.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
hold on. Now
I
I
agree.
understand why it's
Hmm.
actually a level spell.
Yeah,
The,
that makes
the
sense.
second sentence in this: target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed for the duration, even if the target is immune to being paralyzed. I didn't read that part of it.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
I didn't. I completely skipped that part. So regardless of whether you have immunity to that or not, that thing's paralyzed.
Yeah,
Now that begs the
yeah.
question: what kind of thing is immune to being paralyzed, or what construct is immune to being paralyzed? I don't know. Right?
Well, I mean, considering that this spell is something that's directly from Crown of the Oathbreaker, you all might be running into some interesting constructs throughout the campaign. I won't do any spoilers here, but you might be running across something a few things. We'll put it that way. But I'm actually pretty excited about this. Talking about this one, I think this seems to be pretty relevant. Definitely relevant for the campaign. But I could see this being used in some pretty interesting circumstances. But I think it's a little bit niche for what we're looking at. But fun nonetheless. I do like that. It could be. They don't get to save after the damage. I agree with you, Carl. That's a pretty good one. So we could sit there and smack on it pretty good. So that's pretty interesting. If only we had something that would, disable dragons and we can do that in our campaign, that would make things a little bit easier for us, but I don't think we'll
We
have
do.
something
Isn't that what
like that.
Fog Cloud does?
Yeah, I was
Oh,
literally gonna
yeah.
say,
Yeah.
instead of disable construct, fifth level fog cloud, who
Yeah.
cares? Right?
For,
That takes care of it all. You're
for
not
those
doing
of
anything.
For those of you that don't know, our wonderful bard here, Keegan Warwick, loves to cast fifth or sixth level fog clouds just to disable the entire freaking map. So that's pissed our DM off quite a few times, but it's usually gets a pretty darn good chuckle out of it. But that's here nor there.
It's effective. That's all. It's
It's
efficient and effective.
yeah, it's something. It's something.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I guess, before we head off here, I think overall, are we giving this a good rating? Well, I guess maybe we can end with that. Are we giving it a thumbs up, or are we neutral, or giving it a thumbs down? What are we thinking here?
We're gonna each take a turn.
Yep. I'll
I'm gonna go this situation,
okay.
this
Okay.
plus situation. It could
Okay.
be thumbs up with certain situations. So I'm gonna go plus situation.
I like it. Keegan?
I'm going thumbs up, only because you could be paralyzed even if you're immune to being paralyzed. To me, that's thumbs up. Gives a complete reason for a fourth level. If you're taking this spell, there's a reason you're taking it, so you're going to use it.
Yeah.
I give it a thumbs up. Definitely situational, but I give a thumbs up. It's pretty cool.
Eric, would you give this thumbs up or thumbs down?
It would be one of those spells where I wouldn't take it all the time, but if I know we're going up against constructs of some sort, we know that the wizard has a golem or something like that. I'm going to take this fucking spell, right?
I
Amen.
love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, yeah. So I think I'd give it a thumbs up. I think it's kind of could be pretty a big time spell. I like it.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a thumbs up as well. I was leaning toward neutral here, but I'm gonna give it a thumbs up for everything that could do. Definitely situational, but I think it'll could come in handy in Crown of the Oathbreaker. So, but yeah, we'll after that good review of it, yeah, disable construct, 4th level spell, definitely a lot of fun things. But if you have any constructs in your campaign, or you want to mess with your characters, throw some golems at them, maybe you give them access to this to add a little balance there. But yeah, something fun. We'll go ahead and end it for there, I think. But thanks for watching the first episode of Controlled Chaos. Don't miss out. We're always playing on Sunday nights around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's Chaos Chamber. And I could tell you, we have the biggest Chaos Goblin that you've ever met in your life, Warwick, down below, our lovely bard. So if you want a good chuckle, come on down and watch us. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sundays. Thanks, everyone.